What's up, you guys?
I'm a bad bitch, fuck the bitch. Bitch get slick, I'ma cut the bitch.
It's your girl, Kata Siobhan, and this is Kata's Queendom. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I was really iffy on doing this video just because it was really vulnerable subject for me, and I just didn't want to be embarrassed when talking about like my experience and different things that contributed to the way I was feeling. I'm gonna try not to get emotional in this video. That's not the point of this video. So first off, I am going to be explaining some of my absence over like the past year. I was going through a lot of personal struggles, made it so it was difficult for me to want to present myself on camera and to, you know, kind of make any kind of content and any kind of videos because I was afraid of being judged, and I was afraid of the comments and what people would say to me and if I would be able to handle that. I've learned a lot about self-love and honesty. So I gained weight. I say I gained maybe like 75, 80 pounds over the course of this last year of, you know, weight that I was uncomfortable with or that I started to notice in my body shape. It started with like my clothes not fitting, and I didn't really think anything of it until it became to a point where the clothes I was wearing started to physically hurt me because they were too small. And that was my realization that there was something going on, that I was, you know, obviously growing and changing, and it was a hard pill to swallow. And so for a while I still bought clothes in my other size, not realizing that I wasn't doing myself any favors and just kind of throwing my money out because I hated how I looked in the clothes, although I liked what I bought. And so it was extremely difficult in coming to terms with like acceptance and stuff of myself, and acceptance of kind of what the number says on the scale and what the number says in the tag. And all of that was really overwhelming. I've never been a rather big person. I still don't think I'm big now, but just because of my height, I feel that my weight distribution looks worse than it actually is. And that's something that I can acknowledge but still take accountability for. And now I'm just at a point where I want to accept and then move forward. I felt like my audience wouldn't want to see me anymore because I was so much larger. I actually struggled with OnlyFans in this aspect as well because I just didn't know how my audience would respond to me being so much larger than when I originally started creating. And I knew people would notice. I knew people would, you know, be able to compare the photos and things side by side. And I just wasn't necessarily ashamed or proud of what I am or what I had become. I just didn't want to hear the judgment. My most biggest fear was hearing the judgment and people noticing that there had been an obvious change. And I didn't want to hear pregnancy allegations and things like that because I'm not pregnant and don't ever plan to be. And then let's talk about social media. The internet definitely does not help with promoting a positive body image for women who are just thicker or chubby in general. That hasn't necessarily happened to me except for maybe one time I can recall. Here we go with the waterworks. But oftentimes I am saying it to myself because it's obvious. I started having a hard time with going up the stairs. I used to live on the 3rd floor of this really nice apartment, and every single day I came up those stairs I was like, dang, I'm getting winded. I'm getting winded every single time I come up here. My heart beats on my chest and stuff, and then I smoke and I have asthma, and so there just was a lot of things leading up to, I think, this substantial weight gain. That's kind of where I was at. My clothes were getting small. I didn't like how I looked. I was afraid to get on camera. Like normally I'd whip my phone out and take a picture or a video anywhere I am, it doesn't matter, but I got to a point where I started to see where I did that less and less, and I wanted to put on makeup and get dressed and put my clothes on and look pretty less and less, and I just kind of fell into this place of depression and not really wanting to be seen, just because I felt like people would be judging me and judging my body type. So now I've come to a point where I've realized, yes, I did gain weight, but am I still attractive? Am I still, you know, deserving of being treated like a regular person? Yes, I am. And I noticed a difference in the treatment I would receive from people, and that's real, that's honest. And so now I'm at a point where I am doing something about the weight gain that I received. I've actually lost some weight since deciding to make this video and make these changes. Have I committed to the gym or anything like that yet? No, but that is slowly on its way. I just have a couple of things that I want to get in order still first. I decided to change my eating habits. I've slowly but surely been changing my eating habits, the way that I eat and eating in intervals, calorie deficits, and like the whole shrinking your stomach process, etc. I've been trying to change up what I eat. Normally, I'm a person who is gung-ho on all fried foods, everything French fries, bread, carbs. That's me. That's my life. Butter, drenched in butter, oil, grease, and all the big bag activity. But I've decided to like really reduce that in my life as much as I can possibly tolerate, because I do still love French fries. Potatoes are like life for me. I don't even want to lose too much weight. I'm thinking around 50 or 60 pounds, and I think I'll be satisfied with myself. I don't want to be thin by any means, but I do think that the excessiveness in my stomach and the lack of movement in my already short arms paired with my huge tits needs to be mitigated. And like I said in my previous video, I decided that I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but I'm damn close. And so I just wanted to leave with some words of encouragement. If you're a young girl out there who has been experiencing fluctuating weight, just know, honey, it gets better. It stabilizes. As soon as you decide to start taking care of yourself, that's when your body will take care of you. Love yourself no matter what. Take care of you no matter what. And make sure that you are doing what you need and not what someone needs from you. Whew, I made it through without a tear. We had a little water works, but we ain't oh no, I spoke too soon. We mostly got through unscathed. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for sitting here to be able to talk this out and talk these emotions out with me. This isn't something that I really shared with anyone. I still just be presenting like a confident big titty bitch that I am. Everyone has their days. Everyone has their bad days. Everyone has their hard days. Everyone has their moments. So I just want you guys to know, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.